So welcome everyone to the third playlist on the Cannon Street area, and now we're focusing on the Northumberland Hotel, which was built around the 1860s, 1870s when the entire area was built. It was quite well known in the early days, especially for an inquest into someone's death. They would normally have the meeting there, and it would compete in local sports and things and stuff with other landlords in the area. So that was what it was well known for. It is in living memory, and one of my ancestors on my mother's side ran it very briefly, as we will find out later on. But now we're going to go back to the 1881 census to see who was running the pub, and Tom's going to read it out.
So you got Mary White, the head, she's 67, and an innkeeper. Makes a lot of sense. You got John White, the son, he's 43, and a sailor. He lives in the hotel?
Yes.
Then you got Robert Walton, the son-in-law. He's 34 and a clerk. Does he mean a court clerk, a hotel clerk? Then you got Mary Walton, the daughter, she's 37. Right, then you got James Walton, the grandson, he's 12 and he's a scholar. Then you got Robert Walton, the grandson, and he's 2. And then Mary White died in 1882, age 67.
And on the second instance, 1886, at the Northumberland Hotel, John White, so Mary's son, also died, and he was 49 years old, and the interment is on Wednesday, and it leaves at 3 o'clock. So Mary and John both died before 1891. By the 1891 census, the son-in-law has taken over his mother-in-law's hotel.
You got Robert Walton, oh fantastic! The son-in-law's took it.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. He's a head, he's 44, and he's now the innkeeper. So you go from clerk to innkeeper.
So they've just stayed at the hotel, haven't they? And he's
gone, oh, I'll do it. So you got Mary Walton, the wife, she's 47. Then you got John James Walton, the son, 22, and he's a chemist's assistant.
the dog's body.
Get me the iodine. Iodine.
Don't drink it!
Then you got Robert Walton, who's not drinking iodine. He's a son, 12, and still a scholar.
so Robert, who's 2 on one and 12 on the other, is...
Tenure.
He's been there his whole...
Yeah,
his whole,
you live that.
in that hotel?
Sorry, did I not enunciate enough
No.
for you? Emily Stainsby. Niece, 28. Oh, I love that name. Then you got Ada White. I love Ada. I would call her baby girl Ada. She's a visitor. She's married and she's 30.
So the White, do you reckon that's in relation to Mary?
It's gotta be.
Because there's the Whites
Mary
there.
White, yeah, it's gotta be.
By the 1911 census, the family had moved out of the Northumberland Hotel, and if we first look at the bottom of the census, we can see that Emily Stainsby is still with the family. She married a reverend in Yorkshire and moved to the Lake District, where she died in 1935. And if we look at her probate, Emily Luthwaite is leaving some of her money to Robert Walton, a shipbroker. So she was obviously still in contact with the family, even though she'd moved by this point. Back to the 1911 census in Middlesbrough, we can see that John James Walton is 42 and Robert Walton himself is 32, and John James and Robert are both widowers. Their wives, the daughter-in-law of Mary, they've both passed away, so they've moved back in with Mary Jane Walton, their mother, who's 69 and a widow herself. So that means Robert Walton Sr., the son-in-law who took over the hotel, he's also passed away. So maybe when he died, this is when the family left the hotel themselves. So that's it for the 1881 census. And if you enjoyed this one, check out more in this playlist. So until next time, bye bye.